happy Wednesday to everybody. I hope everyone is doing good. We're doing well, and you had a good Wednesday, and it was productive, right? It wasn't stressful. Even if it was, girl, you survived. You made it. You're here, right? So just do a woosah moment. What's up, y'all? I'm Twonta, your girl, your content creator, whatever you want to call it. Hey, how you do? Right? My girl Leticia Campbell, she's on her way. She's coming on in a few minutes. Got to take care of business as usual. But I just want to welcome all of our beautiful queens for being here tonight, and especially those of you who are watching us replay. Hey, how you doing? And if this is your first time watching us, hello, welcome. And definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not. Okay, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, all that good stuff. And yeah, and enjoy the show. So, of course, my girl Leticia Campbell and I, we've been doing this for a hot good minute. And yeah, we enjoy doing what we do. This is a platform where we get transparent. We talk real talk. We don't sugarcoat anything or anything like that. We just have a good conversation. And those who are watching us live also contribute to the conversation as well, right? And so, yeah, we just really are truly blessed and just thankful for you guys still supporting and watching, and just being changed by what we put down. I mean, we have received a lot of positive feedback down through the seasons, where a lot of you have really appreciate hardcore conversations, and it really helped help a lot of sisters along the way. And what Leticia and I, we speak our truth. We got a lot going on behind the camera and all of that stuff. We both are married, both are moms. I have two daughters, but my daughters are now young adults. Both are in college now, and Leticia, she has 5 babies. 5, God bless her. Oh God. And the majority of them have already started school. This woman is a powerhouse and all of those things. She, and like I said, she's a wife, she's a mom, she's a businesswoman, she's an entrepreneur, she's all of these different levels and whatnot. And so, it may look good on the outside, what you see, but behind the scene, man, it could be chaotic, it could be crazy, it could be frustrating, it could be peaceful sometimes. Yes, I mean, there's some seasons we definitely have a good season of joy and all that good stuff, but when we get to those hardcore challenges, oh my Lord, it could do something to us. So we come and we speak our truth about certain things, what we have experienced, and we just pass it along to those of you ladies out there who are in a similar situation. You're married, you're a mom, you're a businesswoman, you're an entrepreneur. Hey, Lady Di, what's up, Queen? And you got a lot on your shoulders too, and you're dealing with so much, and you're trying to figure out, well, how do I handle this? How do I get out of this? And sometimes those issues make you think, like, am I the only one that's going through this thing? And then, when, like I said, when Leticia and I, when we come on here, we go ahead and we speak our truth. And then some sisters be like, hey, girl, I'm so glad you are telling this story, because I thought I was all by myself, right? My
all
girls come.
by myself. So sorry, y'all. I was finishing up dinner. Hey, guys!
Look at you, girl. Look at
How
you.
are y'all? Does my sound good?
Yeah, you perfect. You perfect, Miss Thing.
Oh, really? You saw Teresa's message, Toronto?
I did.
Wow.
Already? It don't even seem like it is.
Yeah, this season flew by.
I sure did.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh my
So
God.
our show producer, hey guys, hello, welcome to the show, everybody. I see Diane's on. A few of you guys are on here. Say hello, everybody. So, Trish just told us that this is our last show for the season. Okay, we are gonna come back in 2 weeks, but this is our final show. Okay, but y'all better join us for our self-care event. Okay, that's going to be on the 30th. Did you talk about that yet, Twonta?
No, I have. No,
It's
I was just telling them about when we come on here, we're very, very transparent, very
oh yeah.
real, of course, and that,
Mm-hmm.
even though we wear multiple hats, we both are wives, we are moms,
Mm-hmm.
well, I got 2 adults, young adults, and you have 5
Right.
babies. Stuff.
Right.
It may appear from their perspective that we got everything all
Oh
together,
no.
but
No.
behind the scenes, it could be chaotic, crazy, stressful,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. But we do have some good times, of course, as life.
Absolutely, hands down.
But we come here and we share our experiences to really help those who might be going through something similar.
Right.
So that's what I was just basically talking about. And I brought I don't even remember what else I said before that. But anywho, yeah, we talk. I definitely want to talk about the sister to sister self-care event.
Yes.
It's going to be coming up, guys. It's coming up.
Yes. Like wow.
Yes, time. I told you our time is going so quickly. Just like we didn't realize it's the last season right here. Good googly moogly. Yes,
Wow.
so September 30th is the last day of the month, right? And it's at 7:30 p.m., which is on a Saturday, I believe. And ladies, it's free registration. It's free for you queens to come on, and you are welcome to bring a sister friend. So definitely go ahead and click on that link, get yourself registered, get your spot reserved, and all that good stuff. This is going to be a fun conversation. The theme of it is falling in love with you. Fall in love with you. Okay, that's what it is. We got to get back into falling back in love with ourselves, with our beauty, our inner beauty, with everything that's inside of us, because we have been so caught up with life, because life be life, and it can really do something to us sometimes. So yeah, make sure, ladies, and we're going to have that link in the comment section for you guys to go ahead and just throughout this course of this episode, you go ahead and click that link, get registered, get it done, and we can't wait to get it started, right? There won't be a afterglow tonight. There won't be an afterglow. Okay. And so we're gonna just go ahead and get started. Now let's Leticia, you have something to say or add to?
Definitely register for the self-care event. And this is why we haven't really been doing the afterglows, because we really want y'all to come together and we fellowship during the self-care event, because we have some amazing topics to discuss with you guys. We're going to be breaking down and working on our agenda, have that done for next week, so that way, as we get closer to the event, we're able to send you guys that, so y'all are prepared for the topics and conversations. Also, what I want to also say before we get started is, if you know somebody that and I was telling Twonta this the other day, and I was actually speaking to a client about this last night. This is a time of year where people are having sort of like this black cloud feeling over them. Even though we know we serve the Lord, we know God is the head and the tail of our life. He's the creator and all that stuff of our blessings and our miracles. And we're all genuinely blessed to wake up every day, you know what I'm saying, with our sound mind, all of our body parts together and things like that. But as we get closer to the holidays, there are going to be some emotions that come up. This is definitely the time of year where we miss, family members, close friends and colleagues that we were with. We're just getting over the, September 11th memorial. So it's so much emotions, right? And if you're on that live right now, type me, or if you're watching this a replay, type me. If you're feeling it doesn't even a little bit of like sadness, or a little bit of like, oh my God, it's September and you probably feel like you haven't really done much this year, type me in the chat. So this is why the self-care event is amazing, because again, we got to falling in love with ourselves, having that self-love is vital, whether you're just trying to go through life or running a business or both, right? So it's definitely to come back, because a lot of times I attend sessions like this because I never know when I get a new awakening on an idea, or something motivates me and gets me wanting to kickstart something. So definitely go to sisterconnection.com and join us on the 30th. Register as soon as possible, y'all, because again, You want to make sure you guys get the link on time. You're not searching for anything that day. You get all the things you need to is virtual. Okay. So you don't have to like get all dressed up. You can have your camera
Right.
on or off. It's up to you. But it will be recorded as well for those of you who register and by some chance, you know, you had an emergency or something else came up. We can send you the replay. We can only send a replay if you register. So that's very much so important. All right. So let's go ahead and start the show.
Yeah. So tonight, ladies, we have a wonderful conversation we're going to talk about. And our topic for tonight is you don't need to explain anything. Girl, you don't need to explain nothing. You don't need to do it, right? Because, you know, we sisters, we just have to, we feel obligated. We got to explain everything to people as to what happened, why you did this, why you did that. And honestly, after a while, you know, that drains you. That really tires you out when you have to be so repetitive about your situation, about your life, about your story. And honestly, you don't need to explain anything to anybody, especially if you make a life changing decision that you feel is best for you and for your kids and for your marriage or for your lifestyle. You don't need to explain nothing to anybody, right? So we're going to go ahead to the first point, ladies. So what is it what I mean about you don't need to explain to anybody? Well, first of all, your life is yours, not anyone else's. It's just that simple. Your life is yours, not your mom, your dad, your sisters, your cousin, your bestie. No, 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 no. Right? We got to be careful of who we share our most, hey, Melvina, who we share our most intimate conversations to. You got to be careful with that. Even with your besties, you know, I mean, yeah, you might have known them since you both were crawling, in your mama's house or what have you. And it's a beautiful, beautiful blessing, you know, to have that person in your life like that. But if they're not walking the same direction, the same path, meaning that you're married and she's not, maybe you gotta just have to pull back a bit and not really share every little thing, about your relationship with your husband or what have you. Certain things you might want to share a little something that's basic or something, of course, but when it gets really deeply intimate and all of that stuff, that's totally out of order. It really, really is. So, and not even just that, but just even with your life in general, you have gone through so much, and there's people that have been your ride or die up until this point. And now you have been in seclusion. You know, you've been thinking about some things, praying about some things, having your private time with God and, trying to figure out what things you need to, to get rid of or add to. And you made the difficult decision to do certain things, to get rid of some things or even get rid of some people, right? And you may go ahead and share that to that person, and that person may be that person that you're talking about. You love them, but you know that they're just not healthy for you right now. You know what I'm saying? And they may feel some way about it. They'll be like, well, I get what you're saying, but I would never hurt you. I would never do this. I would never do that. What makes you think I want to do that? And here you go trying to explain yourself. You don't need to go through that because you're already in this position in your life right now when you're trying to just release and just trying to, so you just got to be careful about really expressing your innermost feelings. Right? That's how family do not like them telling everything. Yes, baby, So yeah, what do you want to say on that, Tisha?
Well, here's what I wrote down as you were talking. I said, I only have control of improving my life and accepting people for who they are. I made this huge mistake for many years. I'm talking about decades. Okay. I don't want to say my age. Okay. But right. Where I felt more focused on changing my husband, changing my kids, changing my mother, changing my sister, changing everybody, and really understanding that I need to accept those individuals for who they are and working on doing things that make me happy and doing things that impact my life. Because I really feel that we are just souls, like with,
Yeah.
spirits and souls that are just interacting with each other. And at the end
Mhm.
of the day, we're not responsible to change
Right.
people. I'm not responsible to change you. You're not responsible to change me. I'm
Right.
only
Right.
responsible to
Right.
become a better me. And I have
Exactly.
spent so long being in that misconception, in that internal prison that I put myself in by
Mhm.
trying to say, I need to work on him or I need to work on her. I need to get him to understand how I feel. And really, the thing is that I should say, Leticia, you need to work on coping with and getting through whatever situations that a person is doing to you or doing towards you. You need to work on controlling your yelling, controlling your anger, letting go, saying
Mhm.
whatever, not being combative. Like what we were just saying, not overly explaining myself, right? If I
Right.
say something, this is what I said, I stand on it, and that's it, right?
Right.
Not getting
Right.
so emotional to the point where I'm spending weeks, days, and weeks depressed and not really moving on anything that I am genuinely responsible to take action on and move forward with. It's almost like you get into an argument with your partner and then now you're mad at the kids or you're not going to work the next day or you're not working your business, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Those are
Mhm.
things that as women we're still responsible to do. That those are things that we have to have control and dominion of over and that we can impact and change, but other people we can't, especially other adults.
Right.
Okay. So when
Right.
we start to take ownership of our own personal life, right, and
Mhm.
saying this is my life, right, not
Mhm.
anyone else's. These are my
Mhm.
thoughts,
Yeah.
right? These are
Yep.
my feelings, right?
Yep.
And really
Yep.
respecting that. Because how many
Mm.
times where we apologize for expressing our feelings,
Yep. Been there.
right? And we
Been.
need to stop doing that. I needed to stop doing that. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? If I feel a certain kind of way, that's how I feel.
That's how I
And
feel.
when yeah, and this is what makes us blow up when those moments, sometimes on the wrong people, when we just had too much or when we had enough. We really
Mhm.
got to say, I am excited right now. So I really want to continue on with that. I'm upset and I want
Yeah.
to take ownership of that, but not take it to a point where I'm upset. Now I'm going to change you or now I'm
Mhm.
going to get you to change who you are. Yes, you're
Mhm.
upset now. How you're going to move forward from that and accept whoever it is that got you upset, accept them for who they are. Somebody said
Yeah.
earlier today, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them, right?
Yep.
Take it for
True.
what it is.
Take it for what it
If
is.
they're a
Yep.
liar, they're a liar. If they're a cheater, they're a
Mm.
cheater. If they mislead and narcissistic, there's nothing you can do to change
Right.
that. That's like
Right.
some deep. Do you talk about some people in all of y'all are adults, y'all know this, right?
Mhm.
Some people
Mhm.
are who they are because that's how they raised, that's what they came from. That's just you're talking about somebody who spent 20, 30, 40, 50 years being a certain kind of way, and you come along and think you're just gonna
Mhm.
rearrange and reprogram and redo all of that.
Mhm.
You can't. You can't.
Mhm.
It's
You can't.
impossible. You're
Yeah.
gonna you're
Very
gonna
much.
waste your 30s. You're gonna waste time in your 40s and all these things thinking that okay, I could change this person. No, work on doing things that elevate you and impact you. You need to lose weight, go work out. You need to
Yeah.
start to go to the doctor more often to make sure that you don't have nothing that's coming up within you like cancers or high blood
Mhm.
pressure or all kinds of stuff that you want to make sure you handle now before you get
Mhm.
80, 90, and then the doctor's saying, well, it's too late. You only got 6 months to live. That's
Mhm.
what's important, right?
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
got bad credit, get your credit right. If you need
Mhm.
to make more money, go out there and start a business, get another
Mhm.
job, or ask your boss for a raise. Those are, y'all see how those are things that you can control. But if you're dealing with somebody who is just irate, who don't see your point, I'm telling you, you're going to be spending years trying to change them. And then, but they're going to still be the same way even after you're dead.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's the thing. And I know sometimes we grew up in places where I just put everybody above myself. That's a choice. No
That
one
is a
asked you to do that. No one
right.
told you to do that. You chose to be
Mhm.
that way. Right.
Mhm.
And I'm
Mhm.
just saying this because I had to take ownership. And this has only been a couple of years I actually sat down and started to really assess what does Leticia want? What do I desire? What are my needs that's going to
Right.
really satisfy me? And none of those things require another person,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
To do that.
Mhm.
These are things that I have control of,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have to say on that.
Yeah, and and I'm glad you said that because
Right.
again, think about couples too, because even though we're married and we are as one, but yet we're two
Right.
individuals. Your life is who you are,
Right.
and sometimes your spouse may want you to agree on what they're doing or how they doing it, and if you don't agree or you don't reply or respond right away, then
Hmm.
it's a debate, and then that person will have you to think twice about your decision. Then you feel like you're obligated to do it now because they're making you feel some kind of way, but you got to understand this still your life. This is you if you're
Yeah.
not ready to make that move, that's you got to respect that.
Hmm.
you know and yeah, we're one and this, that, or whatever. Yeah, there are things we definitely will agree to get to do together, but there's some things that we probably won't be on the same page, and that's
Hmm.
okay. That's
Right.
okay.
It's
Don't
actually okay.
Yeah, don't
A lot
strain
of
yourself.
people who are like that, though, I find even in relationships, and I have personal experience with this, they'll tell you real quick what they need you to change, what they need you to rearrange, and all that. It won't
Right.
change nothing in themselves.
No.
You're arguing with them about the same thing that you argued with them back in 1999. Same thing.
Same
And
thing.
you're almost like
Same thing.
you're a broken record.
Mm-hmm.
The same things that you don't like about that person, they still do. But you could probably draw up a laundry list of things that you changed
Mm-hmm.
to satisfy them.
Yeah.
So the first thing we cannot do is get angry with them. We made the choice to say, I'm gonna change me and you just stay the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
may complain about it, I may argue it about it, but I don't give you no consequences for your actions.
Right.
Okay. I just,
Right.
get over it the next day,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And then
Mm-hmm.
you still change the way you are because you genuinely don't want to disappoint people, but you may be with somebody that don't mind disappointing you.
Mm-hmm. That's the truth.
Don't mind at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the same thing with our relation with God too. God doesn't
Hmm.
enforce himself on us because we have the divine right to
Nope.
choose how we want to live our life, but he has made it clear to choose life versus
Hmm.
choose death. And if we
Amen.
still decide to do opposite, he's going to leave you be. He's going to respect your decision. So likewise, there's people in your life physically where you love them and everything, and they love you, but again, if you don't take their decision or they will beat you down and make you feel bad and horrible and all those things, and you're like, I can't do that, this is crazy, and even if you do it anyway, you're still not going to be happy with that, you know what I'm saying? So you got to really understand your life is your responsibility. Okay, you got to find what works for you, and people have to respect it. They don't have to like it, but they need to respect it. That's just the bottom line, right? So let's move on to our second point, ladies. So our second point, ladies, about what I want to talk about is your decisions are your business. Your decisions are your business. As I was saying before, it's about a choice. You made a decision. It was not an easy decision, but that decision was necessary to better your life, your physical health, your mindset, your relationship, your career, right? And yes, you're going to have people in your inner circle that probably won't agree with what you decide to do, but what's best for you. If you had, especially if you have already consulted with God about it and he's given you the final say, it's a done deal. Plain and simple. There's no debate with that anyway. If God said it, then there's no need for you to even debate with him about it. But other people may not agree with it, but that's on them. That's their problem. But it's your business, right? You don't have to explain to anybody why you decide to not go to this particular location or why you decide not to start this business or why you are doing it. Whatever the reason is, it's a decision that you prayed about, that you pondered on, and God answered your prayers, and you said, okay, I made my decision. I'm going to do what I got to do. And here's the thing. When people don't like your decision, guess what? They're going to start saying stupid stuff. Like, you're going to regret that. Girl, watch. You're going to come back crying. You're going to be like, I should have listened to you and this, that, or whatever. People gonna say stuff like that, especially, and it always gotta be people we know personally. It's always gotta be family, right? And so, even what, don't let that get to you, because of course we've been there, done that before. For the majority of us, we've been there, done that. But don't let that weaken you. Don't let that make you feel like you're not smart or you stupid or you made that. No. You just keep on moving. You're a survivor. Okay. This is life. You're gonna learn from your mistakes. That's what it is. You grow from it, and you mature from it, and you keep going. You keep going. What do you guys say, Tish?
Well, definitely, tell people, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what's going on. I feel like a lot of times there's certain people don't need to even know that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's almost like I've done it in the past where I was like, let me just share what I have coming up, and just share it and let people. But if that person is not somehow helping you with that new idea or new concept that you want to move forward with, new business opportunity that you want to do, or even a new thing you want to start implementing in your life, then don't bother saying anything, right? My thing is, get out there and get it done. Because sometimes even when you tell people a little piece of your plan, they're going to say something that's, you're going to be like, it may not happen instantly, but the minute you hit trouble or hit a wall, you're going to be like, oh, maybe this is a bad idea. Because in everything that we do in life, whenever we want to lose weight, or whenever we want to start a business, or whenever we want to eat right, whatever, right? You are going to come into moments where you're not going to feel as motivated as you did before, right? And you're going to sort of be in the valley. And those are those moments where you're going to need to just self-reflect and get motivated and get yourself back up in the game. But if you have so much negative thoughts that people injected in you, or you're allowed to be injected in you around you, you're going to say, let me just quit or take a break. That's the new thing now, break, and you're not going to get back started doing it. So moving in silence is important, because really, y'all, that allows you to really commune with God. When you have those moments where you feel like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to get through this week, you go into deep prayer, you go into deep reading your word, get a daily affirmations book. There's millions of them out there on Amazon that you can listen to, or whatever, and start watching people who motivate you. You know what I mean? It's like, when we're like, there was many times in my life in business where I was sort of in this moment of, darkness and uncertainty. And those are the times where I've gotten more closer to God. Because that's sometimes, as we get successful at something, we don't pray as much, or we don't, really do what we need to do to have that direct communication with God. So sometimes he's going to, slow you down a little bit, so that who's really in control, and he's able to prepare you for those moments that you're going to go through, sickness or disbelief in yourself, or moments where you're not going to get the results that you want to get. Right. But like we said, your decisions is your business. You are a human being. You have every right to say, I want to live in California. Then next year you want to say, I want to live in Florida. You have the right. You have the right. And we allow people, we allow people to sort of put chains on us that don't have any chains on themselves, that won't even care if they say, well, I want to do this tomorrow. You're okay with it. But you say something that's like, but why you want to do that? Why you want to do this? Because most of us are yes women, where we're like, yes, 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 yes. And we get a lot of no's. And it's kind of uncomfortable for us to deal with that. Like, I shared something last night where I shared something how when I watch certain couples in business, sometimes I get a little bit uncomfortable, because when you don't have that, it's something that's very foreign to you. And you're wondering, and me, myself, wondering internally, like, how they make all this work. But again, when you don't, it's almost like when you grow up with a dad and you're with a friend that never grew up with a mom and dad in the house. So they don't really understand that concept, because they grew up in a single parent home, and they have a friend that has parents and grandparents and great grandparents, and like they have this strong family union, you feel disconnected, even though you can be very close with the person, you
Mhm.
still feel that disconnection. So
Mhm.
it's very uncommon. So when I started to watch other independently minded women who were married in a relationship, but they had their own thing, it was like,
Mhm.
wow, how? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm like, how can you, like, you didn't talk to them, you didn't consult with them, and they say no, but you're still out there doing it. It was
Yeah.
kind of something that had to grow. But again, you got to listen. The people, the person that you want to become, you got to get
Mhm.
around more people who are like that.
Absolutely.
I know for a fact that it's so therapeutic. I was talking to one of my clients today, and him and I both follow people who are like 10 and 11 figure earners. And we're
Mhm.
nowhere near that in revenue wise per year. But we watched him because now we're seeing our future do these big moguls, right?
Right.
And we're
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, this is possible. That idea is possible because we're watching people who
Right.
are already surpassed the destination that we
Yeah.
want to surpass without questioning or wondering why. It's almost
Mhm.
like, man, they already have the roadmap. We just need it. We're literally like in their email list and all this other stuff. Like, oh, this is
Mhm.
what they.
Mhm.
And it's so fascinating because if somebody tells us, oh no, that's not possible, we're like, wait a minute, we got like at least a dozen people who are doing it. You know what I mean? So follow
Mhm.
people like that. You know what I mean? That are the
Absolutely.
is the person that you wish to become, right? I'm not talking about lifestyle because
Mhm.
houses and cars can come and go. I'm
Yes.
talking about the type of personality you want to have, the type of drive you want to have, the type
Yeah.
of strategy you want to implement. Start following them because again, if you don't have that, if you never grew up or having the or because I feel like when you're around that for a long time, you already inherently have all the tools. But if you don't, you don't have them, so you got to go out there and search for them. And I tell
Mhm.
that to people all the time. I can't give you that answer. You got to
Right.
find the people who've already accomplished it and surpassed what it is you want to become,
Mhm.
right? And then go from there, and you'll get that motivation. You know what I mean? You'll get
Absolutely.
that. You make smarter decisions, okay?
Mhm.
You make
Mhm.
more independent decisions, and you're going to be confident with your choices. Because how
Yes.
many of us make choices and then we say, okay, I'm going to scale back, and you become that shoulda, woulda, coulda girl,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
you don't want to be that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I know the weight of the decisions can be challenging too,
Hmm.
because again, it could be life changing
Right.
for a lot of sisters. Well, and especially when it comes to a deeper kind of relationship that you have with someone that you've known for a minute, but you realize that relationship can be very emotional, toxic, in other words, and all those things. And you it's the best thing for you to do to remove yourself from those individuals that is not pouring life into you. And again, you're going to have people, including that person, that's going to be like, well, why you want to do this, why you want to end it this way, and all of that. It's your decision, it's your business, and you're doing it for your being, for your emotional stability. So, and again, you don't really have to go into details because you already have been through this before with those individuals anyway. So why continue to go right back to the same script, and talking about it over and over and over again when it's not helping you, and it sure ain't helping them one bit. They're just going to start manipulating and playing, word games, mind games with you and all that stuff. So again, I get it. The decisions you're making is really hard, but you know that this is the right thing to do. And you don't need to explain yourself when you make those decisions at all. All right. So let's go to the third point, ladies. Our third point, or you don't need to explain anything, is people who dislike you won't believe your story anyway. Okay. Hey, Karen. People who dislike you. You got people who don't like you. You got people who are haters. You know it. But yet they still want to know what's going on with your life. Right? They see you elevated. They known you since you were 15, 16, 18 years old. They see you married. They see you got your family. I'm gonna take Tisha for example. Tisha, I know she's popular. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's all that good stuff, honey. Yes. And I know there's people in her life that known her since probably college, if not maybe earlier, right? But they see how she's elevated because they're on social media just like she is, and they've been following her and all of that, right? And they see how well she's been growing in her business. She's doing all these phenomenal things. She's traveled over the country, all this stuff, right? And they probably want to be nosy, and they're like, girl, I'm so proud of you. How you got here? And all this stuff, and Leticia, she may go ahead and express some things to them or whatever. She gonna give all deep, but she gonna get in the inner courts and share a little something with them, right? And they be like, oh really? Oh, that's how you did it? Oh, okay. That's when I remember you went to Bali. Oh yeah, okay, that's how you, okay, yeah. And they still don't believe your story anyway. They be like, child, she did something, because I know her since she was in high school. Leticia could be wild and whatever. You know what I'm saying? They still don't believe your story anyway. They would take what you had said and they would go ahead and transfer it over to somebody else, and then start fabricating some things because you putting your own little 2 cents in it because of how you feel about her, how you feel about that person. So again, when it gets to that, you don't need to explain, because if you know who these people are, if you already know who they are from jump, why even bother to share your story? Why even bother to go ahead and have a sit down, a cup of tea, and a cupcake, and telling them about how you got to this point of your life? It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. So don't even waste your time, because if you know who these people are, and God will give you discernment, and you will already know the spirit of those individuals anyway. Okay, you will know, even if they may come there and give you hugs, smooches, and all of that stuff. That don't mean they're being sincere with that. You know what I'm saying? So you just tell them, like, you know what? If I told you, we would be here to Christmas time, but I'm just grateful that I made it, and you can make it too. Put it like that, or however you want to, just in it, just that quick. So they don't have to, you don't have to continue feeding them, with your business, because it is your business. Right? What you guys say, Tish?
I was trying to search this post that I saw the other day by this person. And in the post it said, and it just caught me. So I didn't really comment, like long paragraph under there because it was so good. And she said in the post, if you hate, like, how'd it go? If you hate as hard as you work, you'll see a difference. Like, you see so many people out there who are just haters. Every time you come to them, they haters or they Debbie Downers or whatever. Yeah. If they actually focus more on being, as much as they are haters and Debbie Downers, and they just bring negativity in whatever space that you're in, if they transition that into actual love and prosperity and sharing great things, they'll be extremely successful.
Yeah.
Sorry. No My thing is, I always see women, especially, as we get in our 40s and 50s and stuff, where we start procrastinating more, we start putting things on the back burner more, we start taking more breaks and all of these things.
Yeah.
And really, if we more focused on pushing instead of scaling back.
Yeah.
Right? Running instead of stopping. I always say, when life gets hard, that means you got to work harder. I've been years. When my life gets hard, I work harder. I push harder. I stay up longer. I wake up earlier. I'm on it. Right? And not everything is perfect, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to stop. Right? And again, here's the thing I have to say to y'all about your story. You got to tell your story. Okay? Right. I don't care if your story is not as dramatic as somebody else's or as impactful as somebody else's. Share your story. Everyone on here, you have a unique story that people need to hear and that people need to connect with. Okay? There are going to be certain people that, oh girl, why are you talking about your marriage like that? Why are you saying this? Of course it goes, because again, you put them in. Sometimes when you share your story will resonate with millions of women. And then that small amount of people may be triggering to them. You know what I'm saying? Right. It may be like, they may feel like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Because they've been through what you've been through, but they didn't survive it like you did. You know what I'm
True.
saying? So that is
Yeah.
triggering.
True.
I like that when life gets hard. Yeah, you work harder. Amen. Yes, you work harder. You don't question yourself. You don't
Yeah.
procrastinate. You don't make this excuse like, oh my God, my job, this and that. Da, 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 da. You
Mm-hmm.
work harder. I used to be that person that worked a 16-hour job but would wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning so I could work my business before I was in somebody else working somebody else's business. I mean,
Right.
everything in life is choices, right? You got to choose your heart. Is it hard for you to look at your bank account and is that zero? Or if it's is it hard for you to get up early to work your business and see a big difference in your bank account and eventually leave your job? I'm saying this because I did it. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to
Mm-hmm.
understand that really aligning yourself with saying, this is my story. And if you don't like it, so what? It's my story.
That's right. There
I'm
you
not going to
go.
change it for you. I'm not going to alter it for you. This is my story.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
my story has rescued so many women. My story has helped so many women still to this day. So
Yeah.
share your story, guys, because it's your experience. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I was just talking to somebody the other day how way back in the day, so mostly this happened in network marketing worlds where you go on YouTube or go online and you'll see this whole family and they have yachts and mansions and stuff. And you're like, what are they doing? Like, how they get? And then you join their email list and all of a sudden they're like, hey, you got to sell these supplements. You
Mm-hmm.
join today. By Monday, you're going to be rich. And now you're like, oh my God, it's Friday. I want to be rich by Monday. And so
Mm-hmm.
people sort of feel like, nowadays people are suspicious. You can't do that type of marketing no more. It's actually illegal. You know what I mean? Because you're giving a false. That's why a lot of companies
Exactly.
do income statements or some term disclaimer statements that they have people give out or share a link to so people
Right.
understand how the payments are how the business is broken down. But
Mm-hmm.
again, how you want to share your stories up to you. Don't put sugar on it. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Don't try to make it all sound all. Make it what it is.
Right.
Okay? Make it what
Mm-hmm.
it is. And I get it. Some people don't want to share all of their story because they're still trying to get through pain. They're still
Mm-hmm.
trying to, but don't you guys know and understand that sometimes, even if you feel that you haven't um survived it yet or you have not healed yet, sometimes you sharing it is healing.
Yeah.
My pastor told us
That's
something a
good.
couple of weeks ago during his sermon. He said, how do you have peace when life is going crazy? And he said, how do you have peace is through serving others, is through helping others. You
Mm-hmm.
start to get more peace. Even if you feel like, oh my God, my lights just got cut off, but let me go and help somebody watch their baby or give somebody a good word. You never know if God, there's a part in the Bible where God said, here I am. Like somebody was searching for something. I don't remember the chapter, but somebody was searching for something. And God was like, here I am. It's me. And sometimes, God can be that poor person on the street that needs money and all you have is 50 cents in your pocket. And then all of a sudden one day you get a check, in the mail that you're like, oh man, I didn't know I have money coming to me or something. It's like you
Mm-hmm.
served and now, you're going to get your reward from it. Sometimes when we are in our own world and our own negativity and own drama, we get meaner. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like, and I work with people like that. You,
Mm-hmm.
you you know they're going through something at home, but they come to work with the most nastiest, vicious attitude. Instead of saying, "All right, I just had an argument with my partner," coming to her, "Good morning, God bless you. How you doing today?"
Mm-hmm.
Instead, I could have been that person that could have, gave him some good news or something. Now I'm like, "Girl, I ain't talking to that heifer. She came in here, cut her eyes at me. She might as well pull out a blade and like, because that's what she did.
Yeah.
I ain't
Yeah.
saying nothing. No, I ain't saying nothing. No, I'm not going to give her her messages. It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to wait till 4 and I'm going to give her messages today. Because
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. Some people are not going to. We'll go toe to toe with you, but again, share your story, but don't make your story in such a way that it victimizes you. I see that a lot where some people will share, what's going on in their life or what has been going on in their life, and they use it as a woe is me moment because
Yeah.
that
And
gets tiring.
sorry. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, and you know what? I just thought about it too. Recently, I don't
Right,
know if you have noticed it or have paid any attention on social media, but
right.
recently on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, what's my girl Shirley Strawberry? She
Uh-huh.
had to, make it plain in
Right.
regards to been going on with her husband at the time, soon to
Right.
be husband anyway.
Right.
Um, that the conversation between her and her husband was leaked because he's still in jail.
Oh.
And she had said some things. So well, it wasn't like a personal attack towards Marjorie, but the conversation, they had the conversation or whatever, her and her husband, and that
Um,
person, whoever it was, leaked that conversation to the point now you hear on social media that
right.
Marjorie's divorcing Steve Harvey
Wow.
because he's been doing this and doing that, and plus come to
Right.
find out Marjorie's having an affair with so and so and so and so. Now she's filing divorce and all this stuff. So there's a whole
Right.
bunch of rumors. Now Steve, of
Drama.
course, didn't say too much about it, but of course, since they was right on air and everything, of course Steve forgave Shirley, whatever,
Right.
but he had to also make it plain about how people were attacking his wife,
Right. Right.
you know. And even though, and like Steve said, even though I'm telling my stuff, I'm telling my story, and even Shirley's telling her story or what have you, people are going to take it and they're going to twist it anyway.
Yes, they are.
There's people that don't like you, and Steve, like, I
Right.
don't care if you don't like me,
Right.
but I'm
Right.
going to speak my truth anyway. You know how Steve
Right.
is. I'm going to speak my truth
Right.
regardless. What you're not
Right.
going to do, you're not going to attack my wife. You're not going to
Right.
attack the person who I love and this, that, or whatever, and that's how people are, you go ahead and you stand before everyone and say, I'm going to make it plain. I'm going to tell you
Right.
the truth, nothing but the truth. And you
Mm-hmm.
are spilling everything, your heart and all of
That's
that.
right.
But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, somebody on social media, somewhere, somehow, they're
It's
going to
going to
take
have their own opinion.
exactly, and they're going to
Right.
flip it and twist it and all of that. And then
Right.
it's people, because I read the comments. I read the
Right.
comments and I see people, they are, Steve, right on point. People like, oh, he's just covering that up. He's
Right.
covering up.
Right. And I feel like, and I stopped reading the comments on certain hot topics because I feel
Yes.
like people will see a clip like that whole show that happened. They probably
Mm-hmm.
took one small clip without
Mm-hmm.
seeing, hey Patricia, without seeing the whole context. Like I
Mm-hmm.
saw on social media, this guy was having an argument with his mother-in-law. And they
Mm.
just showed when the argument started and when it finished. But no, they only showed when the argument started getting more heated and then when
Gotcha.
it ended, but not when it started. So
When
I'm
it
like, wait
started.
a minute. I need to see the whole context of the situation because yes,
Exactly.
it's wrong to yell and get angry with somebody, but
Right.
sometimes people get you there. You know what I'm saying? And you got to just
Yeah.
defend yourself. So that's
Right.
another thing. It's like sometimes people would take only a small part of your story,
Mm-hmm.
that your whole context of everything, and not
Mm-hmm.
really understanding that, oh, she operate this way because of
Because
all this, right? So
right.
going back to the situation with Steve, it's like, he's explained himself, and still people, like you
Yeah.
said, people are going to say, well, whatever, whatever. It's just like, come
Mm-hmm.
on, mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even
Absolutely.
worth it.
It's not worth it at all.
Yeah,
And so again, you're gonna have those people in your life, ladies, that they're just not gonna accept who
they're
you
not,
are.
and don't get upset about it either. Just move on. Okay,
Exactly.
move on.
Right.
My
Exactly.
daughter has had a friend, she's in senior in middle school, and she's like, yeah, mom, I've been hanging out with this girl, one of her friends, for a long time, and all of a sudden now the girl don't want to talk to her, their group anymore. She wants to hang out with somebody else. I said, go let her. I said, it's good that she showed you who she is early in the year and not waiting to the end of the
Come
year to let
on.
you know that she ain't really your friend. So you need to say deuces and pretend you don't exist. That's it.
Ah!
People will, ride with you one day and then they're not
Right.
there no more tomorrow. It is what it is. It's life.
Right.
It's
It is.
hard, but
It's
it's life.
right. Yeah. And we as
Yeah.
adults, we gotta learn to do that. We got
Right.
if we say that to our kids, and we need to follow up the same
We
way
need to
too.
follow up. Yes. Yes.
Okay. We definitely do. Let's move to number 4,
Because
lady.
we genuinely
Oh, I'm sorry.
sometimes don't understand. We want to understand why. Like my son, he's a Gemini. He's that way. Why
Yeah.
they did this? I'm like, don't worry about why. Why don't worry
Yeah.
about why we don't like you. Just move
Yeah.
on. You cannot get somebody to understand your viewpoint. It's just not going to work.
It's
Some people
draining.
are just
Yeah.
wired a certain kind of way. You may be
Mm-hmm.
with a spouse that's just wired a certain kind of way, and you can't
Yeah.
unwire that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
I've
like,
seen
come
that through
on.
the course of my lifetime, especially when I was in college and school and
Yeah,
stuff. And you try to explain your situation or why you made this decision for yourself, and people still, they don't want to they don't want to talk to you, or they're like, "Girl,
right.
you're just saying that just
They're
to
gonna
make,
come with their own opinions. Yeah.
right, right." And
Mhm.
I get stressed out about it because I'm like, well, why they don't like me? Why they don't want
Right.
to listen to me? And
Right.
my mom, maybe they don't like you because they just don't like you. It's
They
just
just
what it is,
don't. It is
and
what
you
it is.
can do about it.
Right. Right. That
There's
part.
nothing you can do about it at all, right? So let's go to number 4, ladies. Our fourth point for you tonight, right, is you are living a free lifestyle. I
Yes,
meant to say
you are.
free life. You are living a free life, okay?
Mm.
Ladies, you don't you meaning that you should not be held in
Right.
bondage of what people think, what they say about you, or what have you. That's the whole point of this conversation, because a lot of
Right.
you have been held in bondage because of what somebody said, or what people been
Mm-hmm.
thinking about, or what they've been thinking of you, or what have you. This is
Or the
your moment.
mistakes you made.
Yeah, girl. This is your
Mm-hmm.
time of living a free life. This
Yes.
is your decision. This is your business. And you don't need to explain yourself as
No.
to you
No.
are you are getting the garbage bag and just dumping all the gunk and the garbage and the mess and everything from your life and put it in the garbage bin where it belongs, right? This is your choice. You want to
Right.
be free, then you need to eliminate the things that has caused a lot of damage, a lot of stench,
Amen.
a lot of funk, a lot of mess in your life,
Amen.
so you can truly start living the life that you are intended to live. Period.
Amen.
Just that simple.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I always say this, and I feel like sometimes if we just, get some fresh air mentally, right? And really
Mhm.
understand that we have more access to more things that we've ever have access before. If you're around people in your life that says, well, Black women are still, held, not having access to certain things, then you need to get from around those people, because honestly, if there's no tables for you to sit at, or no opportunities for you to take advantage of, then you need to just create them. Period.
Mhm.
I'm not going to
Mhm.
wait for somebody to invite me to speak at their event. I'm going to make my own event and build my own stage for me to speak at. And I've done it
You
many a
have
times. I
done
just
it.
did it in July this year, and I'm about to do an event in the next couple of months. So create the table, set the stage for yourself. Stop waiting for people to say, I'm waiting for somebody to just come on my page and spend money with me. No, you get out there and you find your people. You have a
Mhm.
free life. Stop being around those negative Nancy that say, well, I did this and nobody came. Honey, did you go out there and get anybody?
Mhm.
Huh? Did you go out? Did you tell anybody? Did you open your mouth or close mouth? Don't get fed.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So my
Mhm.
question is, if you're not seeing the results, are you really living life and taking the actions you need to take to make things happen? Just like I said earlier, when life get hard, are you working harder? Or are you making excuses?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just so people can feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for nobody. I don't listen. I hear a
Mhm.
lot of times clients would drop me pictures of stuff that happens that just recently happened. Would tell me, "Oh my God, this." Okay, what are you gonna do? What are you
Mhm.
gonna do? Lights off. All right, get out there. What are you gonna do to get that paid for? Or are you gonna
Yeah.
just complain about it? Because complaining don't make money. Complaining don't make no change. There's a
Right.
lot of things that go on in my life that y'all don't even hear on this show. Because again, I'm gonna do what I need to do to make it work.
Mhm.
Right. I like number 4. Freedom surely means the elimination of people and things that do not serve you. That's right. And are you
Mhm.
serving other people? That's another
Mhm.
thing, y'all. Sometimes we get so selfish at times when we think that people are just supposed to come to us. Are we giving more value? Are we sharing positive affirmations? If somebody comes
Right.
to us with an idea or a concept, are we giving them, like, if I get like a negative Facebook message from somebody, not towards me, just towards a situation, I always think
Yes.
about the upside, the bright side of the situation.
Mhm.
I'm not going to be like,
Mhm.
oh, what's the point? Because I don't want you talking to me about the same thing tomorrow or the next day. I want you to
Yeah.
say, oh, teacher, this happened to me. And guess what? I made $60 or I made $600 or I just made $6,000 from your tip. That's what I
Mhm.
want to hear. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I do the same thing for my kids. So again, we got to stop being victims of situations, because life is always going to throw a fastball at us. Life is,
Yeah.
if it ain't something, it's something else. I always say that.
There's something
You know what I'm
else.
saying? It's always
Yes.
something else. So it's always
Yeah.
something. And once you get through that something else going to happen. That's just
Mm-hmm.
life. That's just what it is. But you know, for us to feel like we're like restricted or limited, I'm like, who are you talking to? Because the women
Mm-hmm.
that I watch, they live unbreakable lives. They're out there just
Yeah.
taking over the world. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
one day at a time, 1 minute at a time. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And it's really about, you know, I always say, I always look at the people that, you know, people follow. If you're out there looking at all these reality shows and the drama and all these things, of course you're going to be negative because you're not looking at light. You're only looking at darkness,
Yeah.
right? And some
Mm-hmm.
people get so bored of the light, so bored of looking at TD Jakes or other positive people that they want to be entertained. So they go ahead and watch the drama. But look what that does for your life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Of course, you're gonna feel like that. You don't. Everything is a limitation. Everything is a problem.
Right.
Oh my God, woe is me. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
We have
Mm-hmm.
so much access to so many resources, and I think a lot of it is because we don't want to learn anything new. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and I will hold myself accountable for that. There's been years I've been talking about I want to learn more about the stock market, about trading and stuff like that. I've not taken a trading class yet.
Yeah.
You know, my husband's in a group chat right now. That's all they talk about is trading. They sharing stock
Mm-hmm.
tips and all this stuff. And I'm like, dang, I need to get out there and learn that. I need
Mm-hmm.
to build my knowledge so that way I can build up my expertise and really maximize on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But
Mm-hmm.
the first thing is holding yourself accountable what you decided not to learn more about or not the opportunities that you decided not to take advantage of. You gotta hold yourself accountable for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that way
Mm-hmm.
we all you can make improvements on that. So I think
Right.
that's very much so important and really knowing that yes, we are all living that free life. We
Mm-hmm.
all have amazing lives, y'all. Really, you gotta think of how can I one up tomorrow? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You ever been around a relative like, yeah, I'm gonna one up you. Yeah, yeah, you ran 5 miles, I'm gonna run 50. You know, I'm one up you.
Right.
How
Right.
can you
Right.
run up one up the
Yeah.
day before? And even if it's like the book called what's that book called? The Atomic Habit. You gotta read that book, The Atomic Habits on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
If you do 1% more each day, starting now, just imagine where you're going to be by December 31st. Just do 1%. 1% can be you know, waking up 30 minutes earlier to work your business, or you following up with 10 more people, you
Mm-hmm.
know, you beating your best every week. That is just 1% more of what you currently
Yeah.
are doing.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
going to be
And I
further
noticed that
ahead.
too.
Go ahead.
I noticed that too, especially those who are like in their 40s or 50s, mostly in their 50s on up. I've seen a lot of older people now taking that advantage. They are actually
Yes.
doing things that they were intimidated to do, or they pretty much was coached not to do
Right,
because
right,
they didn't have the background or the educational background or
right.
whatever, but I've noticed that they go ahead and do it anyway. And they
Anyway,
are
yeah,
free about it.
yeah,
They are not apologetic by any means. They love it. And
yeah,
they know they got people on the back end that is like,
right,
why are you doing that? You 57, you 63, you 49,
right,
years of age.
right,
Why are you doing that?
right.
Because it's my business. It's
Yeah,
my
it's your
decision.
business.
And this is my life.
Amen.
It's my life. And
I love that.
I'm free with that. Yeah. So,
Right. I love that.
that
And you know, another thing is like you gotta imagine what's your perfect day. And even if
yeah,
it's not something that's
yeah,
gonna happen now, it could be
mm,
something that can actually happen in the next 6 months. But you gotta
yeah,
write it out. And if you don't know how, I remember somebody told me to do that years ago. I'm like, what I started going on YouTube and looking up videos of how to map out my perfect day and watching those videos over and over again. Like
hmm,
start doing that, y'all, because sometimes we don't think outside of what's going on right now. And when
hmm.
we learn more, we open our minds up more.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Let's go to our last point for tonight before we
Last
do our
point.
news. Our last point, ladies, for tonight, for you don't need to explain anything, is telling others everything is
Everything.
not for everyone. So keep it
Everyone.
to yourself.
That
So
part.
keep it to yourself. Telling others everything is not for everyone. So
Yeah.
keep it to yourself, okay?
Right.
Because again, you don't know who in your circle is going to blast your business out there in them streets.
Right.
You just don't know. And as I was just saying about with Steve Harvey and, you know, and with Shirley Strawberry, with her conversation with her husband in the jail, you know, having that conversation, and somebody leaked that conversation. It was a private conversation between
Uh-huh.
her and her husband, and someone took the initiative to go ahead and blast that out.
Clout
Now
chasers.
all this chaos is all over
Right.
the media, right?
Right.
So some things you just, even though she didn't know, she didn't know who it was, of course, you know, but again, you learn, it's like, okay, I gotta be quiet. There's just some
Yeah.
things I just cannot say. There's certain things I just need to be quiet about, because
Right.
I don't trust the environment that I'm in. I don't trust the people that I work with. You know, they're
Right.
good people, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? And we just gotta be mindful of
Mm.
who we tell our secrets to, or
That's
who we
right.
tell our story to. We gotta be careful with that, because you don't know, even though you've been with that person or those people for quite some time, that don't
Right.
mean they really got your back. It don't mean they really believe in your dreams. It don't mean that they really gonna be there through the very end of your success. They're
That's
not.
right. They're
They're gonna
not.
take it, and they're gonna try to, you know, they're gonna try to break you down.
Hmm.
Everything that you build, they're gonna try and hammer it down with a lot of
That's
lies.
right. Right.
So
Right.
sometimes you're just gonna have to learn to keep things to yourself, because not everybody
Right.
can handle what you got.
They can't. And my thing is, I'm seeing so many conversations on social media that people are
Mhm.
having, like, for example, like disagreements that one people are having, and they put it on social media. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's too much. Like that, if
Yeah,
this is something that's transpired between you and somebody else, then you have that
yeah,
one-on-one conversation with you and somebody else. Don't make it like where y'all both are on or doing an interview or on a show, and y'all just trying to, we're going to hash it out. We're going to set the
mhm,
record. Because even if
mhm.
you set the record, viewers, these, we're such in a judgmental world right now where people got to put in their
Ooh,
2 cents. Back in the day, we'd be like, "That's not my business." Like I will be quick to tell you, I don't know what
exactly.
went on, and not my business. I don't know. I don't know what happened before or what happened
Mhm.
after. And a lot of times, people are only going to tell you things that makes them look good. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's none of my business. Okay. Another thing I want to say is, I'm the type of person where I'd rather tell you
Mhm,
what process I took when I reached my goal, right?
mhm,
I told
mhm.
God today, private lives or peaceful life. Amen. Keep
Yes,
it,
Lord.
okay. And this
Mhm.
and this is beyond. I know y'all said, well, teacher, you said share your story. Share your stories. You giving your testimony. But I don't need
Yeah.
to know you having an issue with one of your clients or customers. I don't need to know your customers ain't paying their invoices. I don't need to know all those things. If
Mhm,
anything, that pulls people away. There's a lot of
mhm.
times I have clients that don't pay their invoices on time. I'm not gonna go live and be like, yo, these clients don't know. Why? That's between you. That's a business situation between you and that person or
Yes.
you and that customer. We don't need to know. If anything, people are now saying, well, I don't want to deal with that. I ain't going to start joining with you because look at what you're dealing with. And they're going to
Right.
really see the
Right.
negative more than the positive, because with negativity online carries more weight than positivity. So you keep
Mhm,
that to yourself. Okay.
mhm,
My
mhm.
thing is, when it comes to telling everybody everything, my thing is
Yeah.
I will sometimes talk about my process. Then when I'm done, when I reach my goal, then tell you my process before I start doing the work. So if I am what are you doing? What? Okay. If I'm am about to create a
Mhm.
launch or something. Let's say I've done multiple events. If I say, well, I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna, explain how I made thousands of dollars off an event. I'm gonna first do it first, make it, and then talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It's the
Yeah.
same thing. Some of us sometimes we open up too much because we
Mm,
want confirmation, right? When
mhm,
God has already given you confirmation. And here,
mhm.
let me talk for 1 second about confirmation. You don't have to tell people everything to get confirmation. Here's how
That's right.
God works.
It's
Here's
a
how God
private
works.
conversation.
Yes, you could be in prayer about something you want to do, right? It hasn't happened yet, but you talking to God about it. You believe in it in your spirit. And
Yeah.
then you could be sitting down with a coworker or be in church,
Mhm.
pastor giving a sermon, and he talks about that thing you've been meditating on. You like,
Mm.
That's confirmation, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
You telling me and me talking back to you and say, yeah, and that's not really confirmation, really. Because sometimes people are going to first be on your side to tell you what you want to hear, and then later on down the line they want to bash you or whatever, or talk or be negative. And sometimes it's not on purpose. But
Mhm.
that's confirmation for me, is me speaking in the spirit, and God speaks through someone else in the flesh without me inviting it.
Mhm.
Okay, my pastor
Mhm.
he on the pulpit preaching, and all of a sudden he's talking about grace. I'm like, oh my God, that's what I've been thinking about. That's what I've been meditating on. Or he's talking about whatever. Or even anybody, you could be on YouTube, and all of a sudden a suggested video comes up, right? Talking
Mhm.
about a topic that or something that you've been praying on. You're like, wow. To me, that's confirmation. But
Mhm.
telling everybody everything so you can get confirmation and support, that's not always good, y'all. Because some of them people could be digging a grave for you.
Mhm. There you
Some of them
go. That's
people
it.
could be speaking against you. And then
All
when you
right.
fail the first time, because sometimes you got to try things multiple times in order for you to see results. But when you
Yeah.
fail your first time, or when you fall flat on your face or make a mistake, those are going to be the first one who are ready to stab you in the back and say,
Mhm.
girl, I know you say this is what you want to do, but look, it's been 2 years. It's been
Mhm.
5 years. Nothing's happened.
Mhm.
But how many people you've heard that they try something over and over again, and then that 10th year or that 7th year, they start blowing up because of the consistency
Yeah.
that they had all those years,
Right.
right?
Right.
I didn't like Twonta just spoke about me, but I didn't start here. I started way back there, y'all, in
Mhm.
my van.
Mhm.
Okay. I started years ago. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
again, we got to get out of that misconception of, like I said, with this, the whole network marketing thing years ago. It's
Mhm.
Friday, you're going to be rich by Monday.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
Monday, you're going to be popping by Friday.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, I showed up twice this week. Nothing happened. Then you ghost out the rest of the month. Like, come on.
Mhm.
And if
Mhm.
you are going to tell people what you want to do it. Because at the end of the day, let me talk about that part. If you don't follow through, and then people like, but you said you would, shoulda, coulda, and they put it back in your face, don't get mad at them. You told somebody this is what you want to do, and you didn't do it.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are guilty at that. Like, I'm gonna go ahead.
Right.
It's like, like the beginning of the new year. They're like, well, I'm gonna lose 15 pounds. I'm gonna go back
Yeah.
to the gym. I'm gonna go back to the, and then here it is 3 months later in, or 2 months later, and you like, or did you go to the gym today? No. But you
No,
said you was going to, yeah, leave me alone. I know what I said. Leave me
I
alone.
know what I said, but you don't believe in me.
Right. Exactly.
You don't
Yes.
believe me, girl. You gotta believe in yourself first. So
Right.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, yeah. So make
yeah,
sure, ladies, you keep things private to yourself. And I
yeah.
think that is the best thing to do. Some
Yes, it
things you
is.
definitely got to keep it to yourself. It's just like with Beyonce. I never forget with that album. I forgot the name of the album, but you guys probably remember. Girlfriend came busting out with this whole new album on social media alone.
Yes.
And this thing was going on behind the scenes and nobody knew about it except Miss Thing,
Nobody knew.
and when she came out, everybody was like, oh,
Yes.
and that was a smart move. It was a
Yep.
smart business move for her. She
And she
did what
made a
she,
lot of money.
and yes, she did. She made a lot of money on that. So
Mm-hmm.
again, maybe you need to follow something like that. Follow that kind of strategic idea to learn how to keep things to yourself. And then when you finalize that baby, when you give birth to that thing, and is everything is all perfected, well, now you go ahead and let people see what you made of, what you did, and all
Unleash
of this,
it.
and then they'd be like, whoa, wow. you know so yeah,
Right.
guys, listen, I hope this blessed you guys. I hope these 5 points um really had you to think about some things, and how to be a little bit more mindful about yourself, about your life. A lot of us are going through some life changes, alterations. We're dealing with some things, and we're making some decisions, and we feel kind of, weird about it every now and then. But again, guys, you don't have to explain yourself. If you are in that position right now where you are dealing with people like that in your life and they want to know why, well, why are you doing this? Well, why?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to explain yourself, right? Let's
No,
move on.
because sometimes people don't like you're going to be around people who just don't like change, and that's just on
Hmm.
any capacity, and that has nothing
Yeah.
to do with you. It's just in their life they don't like change. They don't like when things
Right.
change, or it's just the way it is. You may be that person that is comfortable with shifting or changing your mindset on something, or having a
Mhm.
different viewpoint about a different topic or whatever, or just the alteration of your life. And
Right.
don't try to have that person who's uncomfortable with change hold you back.
Exactly.
Don't do it.
Yeah, that's the truth. That is the truth. So,
Right,
ladies, I hope you were blessed by this. So, we're going to move to our next segment before we leave tonight. Again, there's no afterglow tonight, ladies, just to let you know for those of you who are coming in just now. But yeah, there's no afterglow tonight. Again, we do have our sister to sister connection. I'm sorry, our self care event that's
yeah,
coming up in September 30th at 7:30 p.m. It's a free registration. So as you can see, the link is posted. So you guys go ahead and feel free to register as soon as possible so you get yourself a seat. Please share that link to your other sister friends. They are welcome to be a part of it. It's going to be a fun event. A lot of conversations and all that good stuff. Great content. So
right.
we're going to move to our What's New segment. Our What's New segment is basically where we share with you different articles from all over with people who are doing wonderful things that you normally don't hear about or read about, for that matter, was via social media or even on 6 o'clock news. And
Right,
we do our little homework behind the scenes, and we come across some things, and we want to share it out to you and just give that shout out to those individuals that we are put on blast, as you can see here, and let you guys get inspired and let you see that there is still great things going on in this world. In spite of what's happening, people are still doing some great things. So as you can
right.
see, we have here this young man by the name Antonio McBroom. He is now the owner of 15 Ben and Jerry ice cream locations. This is amazing.
Wow.
He used to scoop ice cream at Ben and Jerry's. Now he owns 15. Ah, yeah, good googly moogly. Come on, bro. So
Right.
he has, of course, achieved a historic milestone as the first CEO of the SOLE, Black owned and Black led multi unit franchise group for Ben and Jerry's ice cream. That is huge. Spectrum News report that McBroom holds ownership of 15 Ben and Jerry's establishments spanning the southeastern United States, in addition to our Starbucks locations. How many
Wow.
like Starbucks, right? McBroom's mission extends beyond his entrepreneurial accomplishments. He is
Uh-huh.
dedicated to inspiring others to believe they can attain similar success as he passionately shared with Spectrum News. The responsibility of being a Black entrepreneur is just showing others what's possible. He says, I know there's a lot of folks that's growing up don't see cases of Black excellence.
Uh-huh.
And so for me to be a model, an example for folks in my community of just what's possible.
Right.
Um, he currently allocates an annual portion of his revenue to support other Black owned businesses. But his
Uh-huh.
journey began from modest origins. His first job at Ben& Jerry's was a scooper during his freshman year at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And it led him to being able to purchase his first franchise in Chapel Hill shortly before his college graduation. And he
Uh-huh.
became the youngest franchise in Ben& Jerry's history with this purchase. In addition to his Ben& Jerry's franchise, he is a lead curator and developer with the Vickers Bennett Group. He also has won multiple awards during his career. Black Enterprise, in fact, awarded him the Franchise of the Year in 2018.
Wow.
University of North Carolina Black Alumni Group awarded him the Harvey E. Beach Outstanding Alumni Award, and Ben& Jerry's awarded him the Big O Operator of the Year in 2021, and the MVP Multi-Unit Franchise Award, and the Ben& Jerry's Global Impact Award
That is
this year.
amazing.
Wow, this is awesome. Um, he isn't alone in his success. He and his friends formed a limited liability company called Primo Partners, which they used to develop a mini empire of Ben and Jerry's location across the South. This
Okay.
is amazing. Good,
Yes,
good,
it
good.
is.
One thing I got to say about this is that, first of all, it's wonderful to see a man, a person of color doing this, but it's a black man, a
Yeah.
beautiful African American male, because of course
Right.
a lot has happened down through the past years where our African American brothers have been scrutinized, they have
Uh-huh.
been all over the news and all kinds of things. So this seeing this here is absolutely amazing, and it's very, very
Absolutely.
encouraging for any of you ladies that may have a brother or a son or even a husband for that matter, that may have some dreams and goals of what they want to pursue.
Mm.
And this young man is just a prime example. Like he said, he wants to be a model to his community, and he's doing phenomenal things. This is what I just love about it. It's a black
Right.
male doing more than what I have even expected just by reading
Right.
this article about him. So
Right.
this is just awesome, absolutely
It
awesome.
is. It is. And it's like what I said earlier. You can open your own doors. It's nothing
Yeah,
limiting you. Like, people should stop waiting for other people to give them opportunities, and you need to get out there every day and create new and better and bigger opportunities for yourself than you allowed yourself to create the day before. So
mhm,
congratulations to him. That is absolutely amazing, guys. I mean, there's so many people just breaking ground and changing the records and shifting things in their life and what have you. And the fact that not only has this man started this business, but he's been getting accolades and awards for it. So keep going, keep going.
yes, Lord, that is so cool. I love stories like this because
Me
anything is
too.
possible. And he's been doing it since he was in college too. And that's another thing too. If you have students, if you have kids or young adults for that matter, that's college students, let them know that they can start their own franchise. They
Yes, they
could do whatever
can.
they put their minds to. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
works for Ben Jerry's at the time when he was a student. Anybody who's working, like my youngest daughter now, she's at Chick-fil-A. She's a manager now at Chick-fil-A. Who knows? She may want to consider buying a
Yeah, but
franchise.
she started out as employee, a regular worker. Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
she rolls up from there.
Yeah, she started, I think, her sophomore year, if I'm not mistaken, when she was in high school. Now she's a
Right,
freshman in college now, as a manager and everything. So anything is possible, guys, and just make it happen, and you just be surprised how this one opportunity can just blossom and open up so many different opportunities out there for you as well. So this is great, great news. I'm excited about that. So ladies, I think this is our only one for tonight, for this
yeah.
week actually. Do we have anything for Just So You Know, which is another segment that we have? You have anything to share?
Oh, well, I'm still doing my 5-day list building challenge. For those of you who want to learn how to build a high converting email list, the link to that is bit.ly/free, the number 5-day list building challenge. And it's all lowercase except for the number 5. So that's what I have going on. And we're about to start it on the 18th of this month. So you definitely want to hurry up and register before spots fill. Okay.
Yay. Awesome. 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 So again, ladies, there's no afterglow tonight. Okay. And again, don't forget to sign up for our self-care event, which is coming up on the last Saturday of this month, guys. Make sure you go ahead and register. Don't wait to the last minute. We have been filling up some seats. Okay. We are filling up some seats, and we're so excited about that. So of course, make sure you fill out the registration and all that good stuff. And again, you don't even have to be they're there, but you don't have to like really show yourself or anything like that. It's
No.
not going to it is going to be is it going to be recorded? You
Yeah,
said it's
we're
going to be,
recording. Yeah,
yeah,
because
it's
people are
going to
registering.
yeah, it's going to be recorded. Sorry about that. It is going to be recorded. So, because of course, things happen. So, even though you may have registered, but God forbid something happens that you may not be able to attend, but we do have the information for you that you can definitely, look at later on. But the
Right.
theme of it is falling in love with you. And
Yeah,
ladies, we definitely want you guys to, truly take this time out for yourself because it is for you. It
that's right.
is. you. We're in the latter year of 2023, and as we are approaching fall, we're approaching the holidays, we're approaching Thanksgiving soon, and all of that. So this is a family affair season. It's a lot going on. There's a lot that's going to be happening. School has officially started for everybody
Yep.
now, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot. It's a lot, and so we definitely want to take advantage of this opportunity for us to really get dive in and into
Right.
our souls and our spirit and our mindset, so we can really enjoy the remaining of this year and
Mhm.
definitely be successful in achieving our goals too by the end of this year as well.
Yes.
Okay, so
All
that's
right.
as for that, we are done. Oh yeah, this is our end of season
Let's
11.
go. This
Yeah,
really honestly has flew by. So this is the
it
fastest
did.
season. So how it works, y'all? We do 10 episodes per season. So we're gonna
Wow.
come back in October. The first week of October we'll be back. So we're just going on a little break, but during the break we're doing the self-care. So definitely register for that so you can attend that as well. Okay.
Yeah, so
All right,
we'll
this has
see
been a
you.
great show.
Yeah, and y'all continue to watch our the episodes on YouTube as well.
Yes.
Please
Yes.
share this out and definitely put the thumbs up, all that good stuff, or what have you. All right, and so we'll be back in a couple of weeks, and we'll be back with fresh content as we always do. Right, and guys, have a good week and a good
Thank you,
weekend.
Diane. Diane said, thank you for an amazing season. We thank y'all for coming. You know what I mean? And we do this, and I shared this with Twonta yesterday. We do, I do this as, it's therapeutic, it's great helping, impacting you guys. So, yeah, longevity is our goal for sure, Karen. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
that. So, tune in to us in October, but also make sure you register at sister to sister connection.com for our self care event. All right. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.